Some vehicles are built to be seen, but the 2026 Lexus LX800 exists in a space where attention is commanded through silence and precision. It blends design, engineering, and emotion into a machine that changes how luxury feels. Finished in a deep matte black, it absorbs light, presenting a presence shaped with intention. Its wide stance and stable proportions create an immediate sense of balance and strength. The evolved spindle grille and purposeful LED lighting define its intent on the road. The LX800 doesn't just cut through its environment, it organizes it. Experience the power of silence. Opening the door creates a clear shift. Outside, the world is active. Inside, everything slows. The transition is subtle. The cabin surrounds you with a controlled softness, a sense of calm that builds gradually. Lexus craftsmanship feels complete here. Materials are selected for how they behave under touch, smooth leather and understated carbon fiber. Even the air signals refinement before any screen activates. Technology is present, but it does not compete for attention. The dual OLED displays are integrated naturally. Every control surface, from dials to buttons, reflects the same level of precision. This is the philosophy of the LX800. It is not about adding more. It is about refining what remains. When the engine awakens, the transition is controlled. Beneath the surface sits a twin-turbocharged V8 hybrid system producing 720 horsepower. Numbers alone fail to capture the feeling. There is a quiet energy beneath your feet that feels prepared. Motion begins instantly without disruption. The LX800 gathers speed deliberately, reaching 60 in under 4 seconds. The hybrid system is designed for refinement. Power becomes something you flow through, not something you fight against. There is a rhythm to it, almost biological. One system supports the other, creating a consistent pulse that defines how the vehicle moves. The LX800 is equipped with an advanced adaptive suspension system that continuously analyzes the road ahead. Roads stop feeling like surfaces. Imperfections and textures are translated into something smoother, something filtered. Switch into comfort mode, and the experience becomes even more controlled. Change to sport mode, and the entire character shifts. On winding roads, it carries itself with precision. Corners are approached with stability, transitions handled with balance. Off-road, its intelligence becomes even more apparent. The system adapts to terrain before the driver needs to react. Inside the cabin, everything has been filtered with precision. It creates an environment that does not isolate you from driving, but centers you within it. Even the lighting inside the cabin adapts to the experience. During calm driving, cooler tones dominate, creating a sense of clarity. In more dynamic modes, deeper hues emerge, shifting the atmosphere subtly. At night, the interior becomes a controlled environment where the outside world moves past in softened motion. City lights stretch across the windows, reflections shifting slowly as the vehicle glides forward. You are no longer moving through the environment in a traditional sense. Instead, the environment appears to move around you. Somewhere within that transition, a shift occurs. It is not about speed or status, it is about balance. The urgency of the outside world begins to fade. The LX800 does not demand attention, it removes the need for it. Driving becomes something quieter, more controlled, more intentional. And that is where its true identity starts to reveal itself. The LX800 is not designed to compete in the traditional sense. It does not position itself against other luxury brands through louder design or exaggerated performance. Instead, it operates on a different principle entirely, one where restraint becomes the highest expression of confidence. In a segment filled with names like Bentley, Rolls-Royce, and Maybach, each known for their own interpretation of luxury, the LX800 chooses distance over comparison. It does not try to match their presence, it redefines what presence means. Where others rely on visibility and statement, this vehicle leans into control and precision. That difference becomes more apparent the longer you spend inside it. The cabin is not trying to impress you in the first few seconds, it reveals itself gradually. Materials, textures, lighting, and sound all work together to create an environment that feels complete rather than constructed. Nothing feels added for effect. Everything feels necessary. There is a clarity in the way each element is placed. The dashboard flows without interruption. The displays remain present but never dominant. Controls respond exactly as expected with no delay, no confusion. It creates a sense of trust between the driver and the machine. Over time, that trust turns into familiarity. You begin to notice how little effort is required to operate everything. Adjustments happen naturally. The vehicle anticipates rather than reacts. Climate settings, seating positions, even the atmosphere inside the cabin seem to align with your preferences without constant input. This is where technology reaches its highest form, not when it demands attention, but when it disappears into the experience. The LX800 achieves that by integrating its systems rather than showcasing them. Artificial intelligence and data-driven calibration work quietly in the background, learning patterns and refining responses. But none of it feels artificial. It feels intuitive. And as the journey continues, the outside world begins to feel more distant. Traffic, noise, and movement lose their intensity, not because they are gone, but because they no longer define your experience. The LX800 creates a separation, not physical isolation, but a controlled distance from everything unnecessary. That separation changes perception, revealing the true essence of the LX800 experience. Time feels different. A short drive feels longer in a positive way, while long distances feel shorter. The usual tension associated with movement fades. It is not about escaping reality, it is about filtering it. And that filtering extends beyond comfort. It influences how you interact with everything around you. The LX800 does not transform the driver into something else. It reveals a different state of being, one that is more balanced, more focused, more aware. From the outside, it does not draw attention in the conventional sense. It does not rely on noise to stand out, yet people notice it. Movement slows slightly. Space opens where it needs to. This is what controlled presence looks like. It reshapes how the space behaves around you. Inside, the cabin filters the world. Sounds are softened. Light enters in controlled ways, creating an atmosphere that feels stable regardless of external conditions. That consistency is intentional. Every system inside the LX800 is designed to maintain equilibrium. Suspension absorbs variation, power delivery removes disruption. The goal is not to overwhelm the senses, but to stabilize them. And in doing so, it creates a new definition of luxury. Luxury here is not about excess. It is about removing friction, physical, mental, and environmental, until only clarity remains. The LX800, luxury through clarity. The LX800 is not built to rush through space. It is designed to shape the experience of moving through it. Driving stops feeling like an activity that requires effort. It becomes something continuous, something integrated into your state of mind. You are no longer reacting to the road, you are moving with it. Where most vehicles gradually reveal their limitations, the LX800 maintains its composure. The cabin remains stable, predictable, and refined. It operates with the same clarity at every moment. This is where the LX800 defines its place. It exists for environments where presence is understood without being explained, arriving in a state that feels unchanged, composed, and fully controlled. Movement without tension, progression without urgency. The LX800, the journey, redefined. That composure becomes most noticeable over time. It is not simply refinement, it is discipline applied to motion. As miles pass, there is no sense of strain. The vehicle maintains its balance with quiet precision, filtering every vibration. Complexity is simplified. What remains is clarity, an environment where every element serves a purpose and nothing competes for attention. This is where the LX800 separates itself. Luxury here is not defined by what is added, but by what is removed. The steering remains direct, the throttle responsive. Every system speaks the same language, measured, precise, and predictable. It is not built to stand out in a crowded space. It is built to create its own space, one where the outside world feels distant and presence is established without effort. The matte surface catches light differently, softer in some angles, sharper in others. It does not look the same twice. That is its identity. The LX800 is not just a product. It is a statement of intent, a reminder that true luxury is not about being seen everywhere, but about being understood instantly without explanation.